Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a review of a horror film from Indonesia. This is spoken in the Indonesian language with English subs, released in the year 2009, directed by Kimo Stambal and Timo Tjahjanto, and this film is called Macabre. Now, I've reviewed this film under a different title called Dara, but Dara was heavily cut, so I got the Australian release, which is named Macabre, and thankfully that was uncut, so I'm going to give you a new approach. So the movie Macabre takes place in Indonesia. There's a group of friends who are seeing off a couple who are going to head off to Australia. So this couple are very nice, they seem very popular, so the group of friends want to go to the city, have a bit of fun, and then drive them to the airport. So on this particular night, after they have their dinner, they decide to embark on the journey to Jakarta in order to get to the airport, but they are stopped when there is a heavy downpour and they see this young girl on the side of the road. Now, she seems very disorientated and she says that she's been robbed and that she needs to get home. So the couple want to give her a lift home, but the rest of the friends are very reluctant because they see her as a bit strange. But the couple managed to convince their friends to do this because it's the right thing to do, and that it's not going to take too much time out of their schedule because it's on the way. So they take this girl to her home. It's a very mysterious, remote home, and then the girl says, "Please let me introduce you to my mother." And so this is what they do. And then the mother says, "Look, I'm so happy that you brought my daughter here safely. Let me repay you by giving you a nice dinner." So they don't really want to do this because it's kind of eating away at time. But they see no other option because they don't want to seem ungrateful and they don't want to seem snobbish. So they end up doing this, they have dinner, but what they don't realise is that the dinner has been drugged because Dara and her family are a pack of hoarding maniacs. So their night is about to go from bad to worse very, very quickly, and what happens at that point on is something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Macabre. Timo Tjahjanto and Kimo Stambal, if you haven't seen any other of their films, you've probably seen their middle segment of VHS2, the Safe Haven one, the one with the cult. And a lot of people say that that segment was the best. Now, Kimo Tjahjanto was involved in that one. So if you like the middle section of VHS2, chances are you're going to really like Macabre, because I thought this was an incredibly fun horror film. Now, Dara was heavily cut, and I had problems with Dara because I thought the continuity wasn't very good, and they cut out so much is that it felt disjointed. So I thought, you know, the review I did of Dara wasn't quite fair because it just didn't seem right. So coming into the uncut version, Australian release, I was really, really happy with what I got because the continuity ran very well and it felt more like a complete film. Now, if you don't like gore fest, I would say stay away because this one is extremely gory. Very limited CGI effects, so if you're a fan of the good old-fashioned gore fest, then Macabre is definitely for you. I thought when it gets into the gore, it just goes over the top insane. It's not a movie that you're going to take realistically. You've got to have a suspension of disbelief. And so if you go in there with the right mindset, you're definitely going to love this film. It's the perfect film to watch with a group of friends on a Friday night. Now, what I liked about it so much was the fact that it is a little bit different from your no-brain gore fest because their actual characters, the good guys, were very likeable. I liked the couple, I liked their relationship. It felt very real, the chemistry was very good. So when bad things start to happen to these people, you feel sorry for them. Not so much for the other friends, but the couple in particular. And that's what keeps the film going, is that you want these two to get out of this ordeal, and whether or not they can, that's what keeps the fear factor going. So on one hand, you've got a really good gore film, on the other hand, you've got a psychological suspense film, because it doesn't get into blood and guts straight away. It does set it up very nicely. When you see inside this young girl's house, you know something is off. And when Dara comes into the picture, you really know something is off. So Dara is the mother, is one of the most memorable villains. I haven't seen a spooky performance like this since Patrice Daly in Inside. If you like Patrice Daly's performance in Inside, which is a classic French horror film, Dara is very reminiscent of that woman. It kind of feels like she's almost supernatural because she's just got this air about her that is just very eerie. And whenever she's on screen, she demands attention. So a lot of thought has been put into this film. With the characters of the villains, I thought all of them were very good, especially the son. Now, Dara is the main focus as far as villains are concerned, but the son was just insane as well. And it gave across a very authentic feeling, is that these people were dangerous, and that you know, these good guys were in a lot of danger. So it does keep very tense. And then when it spills over into the blood and guts, it's just a really good payoff for what was a very memorable film. So the soundtrack is there, but it's not overdone. You know, know, the death scenes are very, very good, and towards the end of the movie, just when you think that the bloodbath is over, a few more characters are introduced, and that was really funny because I knew exactly what Timothée Chalamet and Kim Stanbiel wanted to do with the extra characters, and that was just to kill them off. So it seems like the director's having a lot of fun making the film, and you'll have a lot of fun as well. You feel sorry for the characters that are involved, and also you feel a lot of fear from the villains. So all that mixes up into a very memorable gore fest, and it's one that I would highly recommend. So overall for Macabre, going to give it 3.5 stars. 3.5 because yes, it is good. It's not a masterpiece, but as far as this type of film is concerned, it's one of the better ones. So it is definitely coming recommended. Alright guys, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later.